Hi Kitsap County, this is Stephanie Dupuy with Dupuy Team at Keller Williams West Sound in Silverdale with this week's Kitsap County Weekly Pocket Stats, which is housing stats, for the week of March 27th through April 2nd. Welcome to April. And so, you know, as you're seeing, our listings have evened out for the spring. We're not seeing any incredible trends here. In the stats, we'll go over them quickly, and then we will share some stories about what is happening behind the scenes in the market, because I think both buyers and sellers will find that interesting. Stats briefly: listings are holding steady. We're not seeing any giant fluctuations here back on market. All these numbers are holding steady. I think what I would be watching, you know, if I'm a buyer or a seller, are pending home sales. They're still super high, you know, around 179, and they're surpassing our sold. So, you know, we're likely to see the sold homes increase over the next couple weeks. You know, that's active spring market is all that is. However, that's going to lower our inventory. I wouldn't be surprised if we see continued lowering inventory, and we don't have much to go. I mean, we have 400 homes on market in Kitsap County right now, which is historically low, and so at some point we've got to find a source to fill these in, which is Kitsap County homeowners have got to sell, or buyers have nothing to buy. So we're just going to run out of gas in the tank at some point unless our listings increase, because these two numbers are increasing. We've got increased pending listings and increased sold homes here. So also our sold price to list price is also just hovering right around the middle there. We have a little bit more higher sold price to list price, which is indicating it we're leaning towards the seller's market, which is not surprising given the low inventory. So no surprises here in this week's report. Now, what we're finding interesting, and we started to see this last week, is that we are seeing indications of an incredibly insane market behind the scenes, and we will eventually see it in these numbers, probably right here on the sold price to list price. Oh, let me back up. One thing we did see this week, you know, our consecutive days on market has been hovering around 40 to 52 days on market. It's been increasing throughout the winter, obviously, and then we're shooting down to 32, and I would expect to see days on market just start to fall. And the reason is because we are seeing multiple offers, which is what we saw this week, which was a huge change in our market. And when you're seeing multiple offers, our days on market go from 32 days on market down to 1 to 4 days on market. And the reason why we're down to 1 to 4 days on market is, for example, we might have a multiple offer situation. A lot of sellers will choose to hold their, not choose an offer until after the weekend to give buyers the opportunity to view the home, and to also give the seller an opportunity to hold an open house to give their sale maximum exposure. So I expect days on market to drop, and we will see some number changes here. So what did happen this week, and how does that affect buyers and sellers? We're going to tell a story here about some listings that we observed, and what you can do as a buyer to get into the housing market, especially if you know, we're going to talk a lot about that 250 and under range, because that's where we see the people who need most help right now. And actually it's more like the $280,000 and under range. And if you're a seller, we saw some important lessons this week for those who are listing homes, okay? So buyers, as you know, there are very few homes in the $280,000 range and under. And so when we do see a home come on the market, you can probably tell us as much as we can tell you what happens. What we observed were people ready to view the home, lined up outside of the house to see it. 3 cars deep is what we saw. One listing we saw this week had 30 views within 24 hours. Okay, another listing we saw had about 18 showings in 24 hours. So that's a lot of traffic at a listing in the 280 and under range. So if you're a buyer, and both of those listings had multiple offers, anywhere from 4 to 10 offers. So that's a lot of competition. So how do you as a buyer compete with the other buyers? Especially many of you in that price range have probably submitted multiple offers. And so the first message is expect to submit multiple offers. If you're a buyer in that price range, you may be 5 to 10 offers before you find a home that you're able to secure and get mutual agreement on. So there's a couple things that we're seeing that are making things difficult for buyers in that price range, and that are getting offers accepted in that price range. So I'm gonna erase this. So buyers who are competing with multiple offers in that price range, you need to save your money. Stop eating out. Stop buying junk. Stop buying just shiitake, as we say. Okay. Stop buying stuff. You don't need that stuff. You need a house. You need a roof over your head. You need to save your money right now, because here's the deal. If there's 10 offers on a house, which earnest money is the seller going to accept? A $500 earnest money or a $3,000 earnest money? You dig? Typically when we have 10 offers in a multiple offer situation, there's 3 to 4 of these, and man, that dog ain't gonna hunt. That's just like wishful thinking. That's called hope, which is fine. Hope is good, but it's not going to get you a house. You need to save your money and work towards that. So the rule of thumb is typically 1% of the purchase price of the house. Okay, if you're buying a house, what a $500 earnest money says is, I have no cash. That's what that says. And that's not the message you want to send a seller. You with me here? You want to send the seller, here's the message you do want to send the seller is, I'm strong financially. Send that message, okay? So, first thing you want to do if you're a buyer in this price range is save your cash. If you have to do $500 earnest money, keep at it. But I bet within a month you can get up to $1,000, and that's going to make a big difference for you. Save for your own closing costs. So we have a lot of VA buyers and FHA. That's fine, but the number 2 thing to do, save to pay your own closing costs. You're buying a home. It costs money.
Surprise.
Yeah. It's not free, folks. This is just adulting. And I'll tell you, I'm on Facebook too, and I hear people say it's not fair, it's too expensive, and we can't, and all this. You know what? Get over it.
Reality check.
Yeah, hustle, man. Hustle. It's the gig economy. Start, sell pet rocks. Save up for your closing costs. Do this. Because you're competing against potentially 5 to 10 offers, and which offer is the seller going to pick? The one where the buyer is paying closing costs, their own closing costs? Buyer is paying closing, or 2, they're asking the seller to pay. seller closing costs. This is a no-go. This is a yes. Okay? These offers are winning. These ones are That's how that's going down. So that's a strike against you. So even if you add it on top of the purchase price, because the thing is, you add it on top of the purchase price in the 280 or under range, all of a sudden you've got appraisal issues. And if you don't have the cash to pay your closing costs and you're in an appraisal issue problem, then you also don't have the cash to bridge the difference if the appraisal comes in low. And what seller wants that? You hear what I'm saying here? So again, we're back to this. When you ask a seller to pay your own closing costs, you're saying, I don't have the financial backing to buy this house. I'm weak financially. And you need to send the message, what? You remember from the first item, the earnest money deposit item? You want to send the message that I am strong financially. And you do that by having cash. So start saving your cash. Get your control of yourself. Increase your income, save your money, self-control, discipline. Okay, that's just truth because we love you. Like, go do it. So you can buy a house because we want you in a house. All right. And the third thing is, doesn't matter what loan you have. Typically from the buyer-seller standpoint, at least when I'm advising them, it doesn't matter if the house is in good condition, whether it's a VA loan, FHA, same thing. I'm not running into many sellers who are too concerned about the second two. It's great to take advantage of the 0% down with VA. Here's the thing though, if you're in a multiple offer situation and there might be appraisal issues, which you should ask your agent if there might be, if you submit a very high offer, you need to consider increasing your down payment to compensate for potential appraisal issues. That will make your offer competitive, which again, we're back to, you need what? You need cash, okay? And you can increase your down payment either on your loan amount or with what's called a 22AD. Every situation is different, so you need to consult with your agent, all right? But these are just some ideas. Again, when you do this, you're sending the message that you are strong financially, okay? And I think this has gone on long enough. So we will discuss what sellers can do to provide a situational listing where they are on the receiving end of a situation like this, where they are receiving multiple offers. And this week with the listings that we were involved with, offers were upwards of 15% over list price. So thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this, please share this with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook at Dupuy Team at Keller Williams West End. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.